Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A House representative announces his resignation from office. Also tonight, lawmakers met all weekend, but with no final product yet. And the food stamp program takes a big cut due to unavailable funds. In sports, students teaching students. Now that's what we call class. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Great customer rep, always willing to go above and beyond for his customers.
I truly hope she gets noticed at work, since I do see she is a hard worker.
The food technician that visited my home was great and helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Uni, keep it up.
Your customer service is always very good.
Awesome customer service with great technicians that are really helpful.
Thank you so much, Sherlyn and Docomo Pacific.
That's so sweet. Feels good to see this kind of messages because we try our best to do customer service.
We make sure that we will 100% resolve the issues.
For all those people that are seeking assistance.
I just want my customers happy
and help them out each and every day.
I would want to go to a place with someone that's just like me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come to Docomo and you'll feel like you're at home.
For all those going out each day, doing what they can to hold us all together, we're here to help those helping us all by keeping our lights on.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Mariana's Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Mariana's Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
Half a day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, September 28th, 2020. We start you off tonight with breaking news. Precinct 1 representative in the Sinai House, Ed Probst, is resigning from office. This afternoon, Representative Probst sent a letter to the Speaker of the House, B.J. Attal, stating what a privilege it has been serving Precinct 1 for 6 years. Going on to state the stress of attacks and cyberbullying that happen each day are taking effect, saying, quote, "After a long discussion over the weekend with my wife Daisy, our children, and some close friends, I have decided to resign from office. My official last day will be this Thursday, October 1st, 2020, so I can close out our office," end quote. The letter wraps up with Representative Probst thanking his staff. Probst was accused of sexual misconduct by Irene Hull earlier this month, where she sent a letter to the governor, Speaker of the House, and the Attorney General calling for legal infrastructure. Hull stated in the letter that sexual abuse allegations had been relayed to her through Probst's former students and acquaintances, but were never addressed. Probst has served as the House Minority Leader for 2 terms and was also on the committee that is investigating the governor. Emergency sessions were held all weekend on Capitol Hill as lawmakers have less than 2 days to submit a new budget to the governor. But the House has rejected the Senate's proposal, which now means a longer budget process and a possible government shutdown. Sally Lemus reports.
Out of 20 members in the House of Representatives, 18 voted to reject the Senate version of the fiscal year 2021 budget. With this, conferees from both the House and Senate will be meeting to draft a version that satisfies both chambers. Ways and Means Chairman Ivan Blanco.
We have more commonalities than differences with their version, our version and their version. So what's going to happen is all the actions that they took, we'll sit down with them and say, okay, this is our position, this is what we agree with, this is what we do not agree with. What is yours? And we go back and forth until we come to a decision.
Blanco says the last time the legislature had a conference meeting was years ago for the fiscal year 2019 budget. And though they feel bad about a possible government shutdown, the numbers that representatives in the House saw in the Senate version were unreasonable. Representative Tina Sablon shared her sentiments as to why she voted to reject the bill.
I strongly disagree with the Senate's proposal to dramatically increase the legislature's budget, including our operational and leadership accounts, and to also raise the slush funds for the governor and lieutenant governor. That these should be priorities for any additional funds that are identified makes no sense to me.
In Section 703 of the Senate's budget version, the leadership account was increased by more than $156,000. This makes a grand total of $6.7 million for the legislative branch appropriation. Another issue that most House members did not agree on was the significant increase of appropriations for Tinian and Rhoda. The Senate proposed an increase of $1.8 million for Tinian, $1.3 million for Rhoda, and $247,000 for Saipan. Blanco expressed that when you compare what the House passed to what the Senate is considering, that's a ratio of 12-1 in terms of what the 1st and 2nd districts were allotted compared to the 3rd senatorial district. And if the CNMI government does have to shut down, only a few agencies will remain.
Of course, public safety, that we cannot shut down. And it depends on the department, who they want to put up and who to let go at the moment. Of course, we have our hospital and other autonomous agencies, DFAMs, corrections. So there are certain agencies that it's just impossible to, even during a shutdown, to close it down.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemus.
The conference committee will be meeting tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. at Legislature. The Senate passed a budget bill of $96.47 million, removed several earmarks, and increased funds for certain agencies. But Rhoda Senator Paul Manglonia is not pleased with particular parts of the bill. Sally Lemus has more.
CNMI senators met Saturday afternoon and passed their version of the fiscal year 2021 budget. The proposed bill is $13 million over from what the House proposed after the Senate removed earmarks from 4 agencies. The Senate is also proposing to increase appropriations for Rhoda and Tinian by millions of dollars, while Saipan is increased by only $247,000. 7 voted yes for the bill passage, while Senator Paul Manglonia walked out before the voting began. Manglonia lashed the Senate leadership for giving the governor unlimited authority to reprogram funds under the executive branch for FY 2021.
All we managed to do was make sure that the legislature did not get any funding reduction and ensure that no one can reprogram our legislative money while other government programs and public services were severely cut.
Manglonia offered 4 floor amendments, but it wasn't entertained by any of his colleagues.
By passing this budget as is, we are effectively removing the check and balances of our government. We might as well rename the legislative branch of the CNMI as the Department of Legislation, holding under the office of the governor. In other words, let's shut down this legislature right now. I thank you.
Manglonia then gathered his stuff and left the chamber. Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemus.
Those receiving Nutrition Assistance Program benefits will see a reduction starting October 1st. Here are the details. The CNMI's Nutrition Assistance Program is getting almost half of the funding for fiscal year 2021, causing NAP to reduce levels by 25% come October 1st, when fiscal year 2020 ends.
In early part of fiscal year 2020, just around September, before 2020 started, we received the additional funding, a disaster relief grant. That grant, in a sense, was to help us for the money we expended for the DNAP. And so that $25 million was provided to the CNMI. And we used that money for benefits. And we've committed most of it without spending too much of the block grant. But we spent all of that, and we spent some of the block grant money, and we have about a little over $7 million left of the 2020 block grant. That money can carry over to the next fiscal year. We also have a ENAP, we call it the enhancement of the NAP. We have under $3 million left. That carries over. That ends in next fiscal year. So that's a sum of around $10 million. And then we have our fiscal year 2021 of $12 million. So in addition to that, we have about $22 million for next fiscal year funding availability.
This brings a shortfall of about $13 million because NAP gets $17 million for the program benefits out of the $22 million for fiscal year 2021. Macaronis says for the program to continue at the current level, NAP needs about $31 million.
We are contacting households. I know that this sounds like, a very last minute. We're letting people know, unfortunately, the big October 1 is just in the next few days, but we're letting them know that because of the new standards, they're no longer eligible. And that we explain, these are the income standards and this is your income. Your income exceeds the standards. Unfortunately, in October, we cannot continue providing you benefits.
This is how Macaronis says the reduction will work.
We do have a table for the amount in maximum we would give a household size of 1, and then the household sizes 2 and so forth. But we use our household size of 1 as a baseline, right, to compare it against our current level. So 25% of what we have, essentially for this fiscal year, the maximum income standard for a household size of 1 is $1,041. And the reduction of 25% brings that down to $741. This is monthly gross of income. And so we then apply those 25% based on these tables.
But an even further reduction will happen starting April 1st, 2021 to September 2021 if the number of applicants for the program remains the same. Macaronis says if more funding is provided by Congress for the 2021 budget, the program will be able to go back to the current level of benefits. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a 46% increase of households applying for the program, which is a call for more money. Sally Lemus speaks with Congressman Gregorio Sablan and Secretary Robert Hunter, who gives very opposing solutions.
In response to this 25% reduction, Congressman Gregorio Sablan is asking Governor Torres not to cut assistance for those receiving food stamp.
I'm pleading with them to, after you took away their livelihood, their income, I'm pleading with him to not take away the food assistance that they and their family, the kids, deserve.
But according to DCCA Secretary Robert Hunter, this matter is out of the governor's hands.
Our governor has nothing to do with this. Governor Torres, if he called up our food stamp program today, our NAP program, and said, stop the cuts, they couldn't follow that. The benefits determinations are approved by the Food and Nutrition Service. They would never allow us to exhaust what funds we have available for the benefits 5 months into the calendar year. They wouldn't let us exhaust them in 5 months. we have to have a plan that covers the entirety of the year based on the funding that we have available. And the funding that we have available is $12 million.
Hunter says every single expenditure must be approved by the Food and Nutrition Service.
If we are going to purchase a piece of equipment for the office, we have to get that approved by the FNS. So the suggestion that we have the leeway, especially with something of this magnitude, where it means a reduction of eligibility and benefits, the suggestion that we can do that is just totally incorrect.
Hunter also adds that the CNMI must have a solid source of funding directly for the food stamp program.
Of course, we support the congressman's efforts to get funding through whatever means he might be able to get that funding through. But we've seen the HEROES Act fall short. We've seen the recent stimulus effort fall short. And so now we're talking about a possible pandemic or another COVID bill. Of course we want him to be successful in getting us the resources we need through whatever means necessary. If that means the COVID bill or whatever's on the horizon, that's fine. But we also need to have a realistic plan. And these so far haven't panned out as realistic. These are hopes.
Congressman Sablon, on his part, says he has already secured funding and is just waiting on the U.S. Congress to pass the budget bill.
Since the governor is still unsatisfied with the results that I've done, so I spoke to the speaker, and I think I got her to convince her to give the Lord de Marianas another $14 billion. That was just this morning. And so I don't know what more to, put together 29 plus the 14. That's about almost half of the Commonwealth's budget.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemis.
The CNMI has reached positive case number 70 for COVID-19 over the weekend. According to CHCC, the individual tested positive upon arrival on Saturday's flight and was immediately moved to isolated quarantine at Kanoa. Contact tracing has been initiated for the most immediate contacts, which include the passengers on the same flight. Of the 70 confirmed cases, 44 have been identified through port of entry screening. Of those, 27 originated from the U.S. mainland, 10 from a foreign country, and 7 from U.S. territories. Coming up, workers from IPI are asking for their long overdue paychecks. More on this after the break.
Students get smart savings at IT&E with free selected Samsung Galaxy phones and awesome discounts on plans. Get the Samsung Galaxy A7 One for free and 10 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $45 a month. Choose the Samsung Galaxy A11 for free and 5 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $27 a month. Or browse our entire selection of phones and plans and still get a 10% discount on any monthly plan. Go to ite.net for details.
Come see the best sunsets on Saipan at 360. Build your own pizza or burger. Try our grilled seafood, sumptuous steaks, and sizzling Texas fajitas. Your whole family will love the food and the views at 360. And happy hour and daily lunch specials make 360 a great value. Make it special. Make it 360. The best food and views all the way around.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Students get smart savings at IT&E with free selected Samsung Galaxy phones and awesome discounts on plans. Get the Samsung Galaxy A7 I for free and 10 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $45 a month. Choose the Samsung Galaxy A11 for free and 5 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $27 a month. Or browse our entire selection of phones and plans and still get a 10% discount on any monthly plan. Go to ite.net for details.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. United Airlines is providing COVID-19 tests to customers, the first U.S. carrier to do so. United announced that starting on October 15th, customers traveling from San Francisco SFO to Hawaii will have the option to take a rapid test at the airport or can mail in a test ahead of their trip by self-collection. This will be a COVID-19 pilot testing program for travelers administered by the GO Health Urgent Care and Dignity Health, where results are provided in 15 minutes. United states that any United customer, resident or traveler will not have to quarantine for 14 days if the test comes back negative. It's an issue that many workers for Imperial Pacific International keep facing: no paycheck. Operational workers for Imperial Pacific International are reaching out to upper management with the question, where is the money?
The reason why we're here is mainly for IPI to stop its delay in giving us our rightful final pays, because it's already been a burden for us to keep on waiting for quite some time now, and it's long overdue. And I think we're being burdened by the anxiety and uncertainty of what's going to happen next.
These 12 workers, who wish to remain anonymous due to fear of how IPI may react, say they just want their last paycheck and their airline ticket home.
We just want our due pays, ticket going home, so we can, leave the island, go back home to our families, and move on. That's simply it.
The delay in pay goes back to mid-August, where IPI officials kept sending out letters to the employees informing them of a later pay date, until the last one, which dated until further notice.
Initially, we were supposed to receive this final paycheck last August 14th, and it extended to August 28th, and the following week after, and another week after. IPI have just ever since then brought out some memos that there's going to be a delay on these paychecks. Until recently, it's just until further notice, and we don't know now what's going to happen next or when they're going to be able to actually give us our final pays.
Some of the employees who have not been paid state they will take legal action as a last resort. KSPN reached out to IPI CEO Donald Brown for comment on when the employees will be paid. Brown sent a statement saying, quote, "We did miss Friday's payroll. We sent a message in advance advising of the delay with our apologies to our very understanding employees," end quote.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, coming up, my favorite part of the show.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I can say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
The Tan Soo Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to go over the cable lat pull down. Now what we want to remember with machine-based exercises, there's really no right or wrong way of doing it. There's multiple ways of executing the exercise. What you'll often see is lifters executing the exercise in this fashion, and instead of working the muscles of your upper back, you're just irritating the shoulder joint, which is what you don't want. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. Let's sit upright a little bit more. Okay, as you get a full stretch, bring it down with your elbows coming in. So in general, as you set up this way, you're going to be feeling majority of the impulse right here, which is your lats. Okay. He's getting a full stretch and he's getting a full squeeze in the bottom.
Did you know CNMI's coral reefs and seagrass ecosystems are worth about $115 million a year? Coral reefs alone are valued over $100 million a year. All the more reason these precious ecosystems must continue to be protected. Coral reefs are important to the people of the CNMI because they provide traditional and subsistence uses, production of commercial food products, recreational opportunities for a healthy tourist economy, and physical protection from storms. Do not break or collect coral to take home with you. We need them. Corals are living animals, and it takes decades to create reef structures. Planting trees, grass, and shrubs on bare soil helps prevent sediment from entering our oceans. Trees also help fight climate change. Use a rain barrel and collect water from roofs, yards, and paved surfaces. You can help keep storm water on your property and pollutants out of waterways by building a rain garden. The ocean floor isn't a dance floor. Stepping on corals can break them. Maintain buoyancy when snorkeling or diving. Nutrients from excess fertilizer increases algae growth that blocks sunlight to corals. Coral reefs need clean, clear water to survive. Help keep our beaches litter-free. Always take out your own trash and a little bit more. Anchor in sandy areas away from coral and seagrass or use mooring buoys so the anchor and chain do not drag on nearby corals. Reduce, reuse, rethink, repair, refuse, recycle. Do not feed the fish. Do not take or step on coral. Do not collect shells. Do not fish. Help with local tree planting community events, local beach cleanups, and get involved in protecting your watershed. Participate in training or education programs that focus on reef ecology. You can make a difference. Please contact Mina to get involved in community conservation.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans, the NMI Junior Tennis Program has taken matters into their own hands. Well, you're never too young to be a teacher. Last year, NMI national tennis player Malika Miyawaki started giving lessons to younger players while she was a senior in high school. She's since graduated and moved on. Now, two other national players, Sam Rio and Jimin Wu, have stepped up. by continuing in this novel approach for both beginners and more advanced players.
We've been talking about it because Norika's going to college and we're thinking we can take over.
How many kids you got here today?
14 in total.
14 total?
Mostly. Hope there's more people next time.
Do you feel like you're giving them peer level coaching? Or is this?
For those who couldn't hit, I just want them to at least hit the ball, know how to play tennis at least. But then for people who knows how to play tennis, maybe they could actually rally.
Yeah. 2 NMI national players from the class of 2020 went on to play tennis as college freshmen, joining a long list of accomplishments for the NMI program, and it's continuing to grow. Jimin, a junior in high school, would like to follow in their footsteps.
My first goal is, to get to college, get a scholarship. That's my main goal.
How long have you been playing tennis?
Tennis since I was 8.
8. How long have you been playing, Sam?
12. Started late.
12 is not too late, but younger is even better. The lessons are at American Memorial Park. 12 noon for beginners, 1 p.m. for those with some experience. Sam and Jimin helping keep the national program going strong.
Give me 3 words to characterize NMI tennis.
NMI tennis? Fun, exciting, advanced.
Jimin? 3 words.
It's fun, we're dedicated, and we work hard.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Yeah, it was real hot today, 90, heat index 109. Tomorrow about the same. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:06, sunset 6:07, so our equinox is coming up later this week. That's it. News, sports, and weather. Thank you for watching. See you back here Wednesday.